So we're in another location. My wife kicked me out of the living room. Now we're in the bag room, which makes perfect sense because we're going to talk about some bags. So let's get into it. Today's video is going to be about the GORUCK Echo from 2022. This is a 16 liter bag that is built in the USA, built great. It is very much a mini GR1. So if you're familiar with GORUCK, you're probably familiar with the GR1. The GR1 is the main bag that GORUCK makes. This is a mini version of that. I'm gonna show you a couple of other bags. This is the GR1 21 liter, and this is probably the closest like looking bag to this that you'll see. They're very, very similar. You'll see some differences based on the size. So this is a 21 liter bag. It is definitely deeper. It's gonna be hard to see, I didn't pack this out, but it's definitely a deeper bag. It's taller and otherwise almost identical. Now this will take a bigger laptop and some other things, but build quality, everything else feels very similar. And yeah, you're probably thinking about this one. Apologies, this one was on the bed, the cat's bed. My cat likes to sleep on this one. If you're thinking about this bag, you might be thinking about this one. This is the Radio Ruck from 2021. Now this is actually a very similar bag, kind of. Like you can see the height is similar. That said, it's a very different bag because this is 21 liters and it is much deeper, like much deeper than this bag. And it feels more like, if you want to travel, do that kind of stuff, it's a little bit easier to do in this bag. This bag is definitely just a day bag kind of thing. It's going to be difficult to travel in a 16 liter bag. The straps are beefier on the Radio Ruck, as you can see. The handle and everything else is basically the same, but overall, similar bags. Neither have a frame sheet. Both very cool. Radio Ruck, one of my favorite bags of last year. Really like it. The last one that's similar is this. Now this is the 15 liter GORUCK Bullet. You'll notice that their shapes are very different. So this is a much taller bag, it's a narrower bag. That's where the 15 versus 16 liters come in. This doesn't have a laptop compartment, it doesn't have any of the rain flaps. It's made of 500D, it's a little bit softer and flimsier and that kind of thing. This is definitely a beefier bag. It feels more like purpose-built. It's a little bit more intense. They're both very nice. I like the Bullet Tube for its simplicity. Overall, also a great bag, but the price gap is huge here. This is $295. Yes, $295. This is like $150 or something when it's on sale. I think it's sold out. So back to this guy, the Echo. This is built in the USA. It's built amazingly out of 1000D Cordura nylon. It feels great. It has number 10 YKK zippers on the main. It has a number 8 here on the front flap. It's got another number 8 back here on the laptop compartment. It does have a laptop compartment. It's a small bag, as I mentioned, but it's a very cool one. Now, I only got this bag today, yesterday. But I wanted to give you my first impressions on it because I think that in a couple of weeks I'll do a proper review after my wife gets to use it a little bit. I think it's the type of bag she wanted to try, and when I get to use it a little bit more. But I wanted to give you my first impressions while it's still on sale because it's probably going to be sold out, and then my review comes out and you can't buy it, and then that's really annoying. So here we are. Just like every other GORUCK, it's exactly like a GR1. So if you ever had a GR1, it's the identical bag, except for size, 1, and 2, no frame sheet. So this guy doesn't have a frame sheet. So you can see here, normally the GR1 has a frame sheet in this laptop compartment. This one does not. Otherwise, you're looking at the exact same bag, aside from size. What it really feels like is an exact scaled down GR1, which is cool in a lot of ways. And I will say that while I was looking at this bag during the day, I kept thinking like, it looks really nice. And I told my wife that, and my wife said, you know what it is? It's similar to like, you know, you see like cool shoes, and the coolest version of those cool shoes are the smallest ones? Makes sense. I guess, to me, to her, to both of us, it made sense. If you look at this bag and you're in the market for it, think about it as like a daily carry. It can be a small daily carry for most people, especially if you have a smaller laptop, but let's get into it and talk a little bit about it. There is some molly webbing across the front here, just 2 rows. There is no molly webbing on the sides. The reasons for that is that it's just not enough space there. Back panel, straps are great. They're very similar to the Bullet, but a little bit beefier feeling. It could be just the 1000D that feels like that. This 1000D feels amazing. It's like really intense feeling, and it's a different color than the other 1000D bags I got this year. This is like more like straight black with a bit of a coating. It's really nice. I don't know what the reason is for that. I know that Cordura nylon changes based on the batches, so it could just be that. I mean, I'm sure that's exactly what it is. The straps, again, feel great. They're a little bit more narrow than a GR1 strap, but that just goes with the whole scale down thing. Laptop compartment is here. Very similar to every other laptop compartment on a GORUCK. This one says it's good for a 13-inch. I think a 14-inch would fit. My 15-inch is like just above the edge here, and there is space up here. So if you can kind of tuck it up, you could get it to fit. I think a 14-inch would fit, but again, it says 13-inch on the website. Just my guess. Top handle, very nice. Very similar to every other GORUCK. Feels great. I find this bag feels like very chuckable like this. Just a good look, good feel. The layout is exactly the same. So big number 10 YKK zip. Opens clamshell like this, like every other GORUCK. I say that a lot because they're literally the same, or basically the same, just different sizes. So it really depends on the size you want, which one you should get. Basically, because this bag is very narrow, I packed it out with my GR2 field pocket, which fits perfectly along the edge here on the bottom. On this side, exactly the same as other GORUCKs. There is a top opaque pocket here. In here, I just have like my wallet and a cable I need during the day. Down here, I have my Wire-Dopp in this pocket, which fits perfectly fine, and it's like the exact size. The Wire-Dopp magically fits in this pocket on every GORUCK. I don't know if they plan it that way or what. They must, I suppose. Compared to other GORUCKs, the bottom of this bag is definitely slightly slanted, so the bag doesn't sit like perfectly flat. It kind of sits on a bit of an angle, which is okay. It still stands up fine. It just stands up on an angle. Now, I put my laptop, because I have a 15.6-inch laptop, I put it in here on the back in the Ruck plate panel. You might say that that's like not perfect for protection, but it is slightly raised up off the bottom of the bag. The bottom of the bag is padded, so there is that as well. And honestly, it's more protection than the Bullet offers that you just saw, the other GORUCK of this similar size. If you have a smaller laptop, no problem, fit in the laptop compartment, which is obviously better. But this is fine for me, and I also like having my laptop in the main. Plus, it would fit with the sleeve. It's just that, like, for me, I don't care that much to do that. Now, the way I get it out easily is because this bag has no back panel. I just give it a little push like this, and then my laptop easily comes out like this. And put it back in, up, and good. Now, some people get annoyed by the way that these top flaps are on this type of bag. For me, it's completely fine because of that maneuver. So I'll show you again. Just kind of flip it, pull it out, back in, back up, good to go. And that's made possible by the fact that there's no frame sheet, because if there was a frame sheet, that just wouldn't work. You can see the label here. It says GORUCK Echo, built in the USA. Now, there's a hydration pass-through up here, not something I normally use, but I think that they kind of make this bag for somebody who like would use it for daily carry and then maybe do an event or something with it at some point. They must be thinking that, because the 1000D they use here is that tough stuff 1000D, and it's intense. It feels much more intense than the 1000D on the Radio Ruck. I mean, obviously they're all great materials. It's just something about this one. Even the inside has like a coating to it that the other one doesn't have. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, will it eat your clothes? I don't know. I know people are thinking that. I don't think about that too much. It's not something that I think about. The front pocket is very similar to all GORUCKs. It is tight because this one, compared to the Radio Ruck, for example, one, this material is really stiff right now. As it breaks in, it'll get better. Two, because it's so narrow, my stuff is packing out into here, so it gets a little bit tight. But I used it today, just like I normally use these, and it was okay enough. That's all, really. That's my first impressions on this guy. What do I think? I think, like, in person, it's a very pretty bag, and I don't know why exactly, aside from what I said earlier. Do I think you should get one? Well, it really depends on you. Like, if you need a 16-liter GORUCK and you carry a small laptop, it's a great bag, but then it's also $300. So maybe you have somebody in your life, like a kid or somebody, who would like a bag that's going to last them years. Well, this is a good option for that. Otherwise, you know, thanks for sticking with me through the changes, but we should be back, you know, in full-fledged mode at some point here soon. So talk soon, kids. Bye-bye.